If you're a new coach or a coach in the making or a coach who's been at it just for a few years, what if I told you that there are mistakes that you're probably making right now that are standing in the way of your growth and that these mistakes are completely avoidable? Would you want to know what they are? Yes? Perfect, because that's exactly what we're talking about in today's video. Hi, I'm Muna. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to get notified every time I release a new video. Let me give you a picture of my business when I first started as a coach. It was inconsistent, to say the least, in terms of income. I never knew how much money I was going to get every month because I didn't know how many clients I was going to get. It was filled with shiny object syndrome problems, meaning that I would be working on one thing and then get interested in something else or get presented with an opportunity or hear about something, and suddenly my attention goes somewhere else. And then I start working there for a bit and then something else happens that takes my attention elsewhere. And I would have sparks here and there with my business, doing some good things, making some money, but never enough to make me feel comfortable and to make me feel relaxed. I was working, I can't even count the number of hours because it was no longer in an office, it's at home. Yeah, maybe officially sitting at my desk, not more than 3, 4, 5 hours, maybe tops, but throughout the day, my laptop would move with me wherever it is, wherever I'm going, and I'd have my phone, I'd be working all of the time. And yet, all of these hours and hours and hours of work weren't bringing in the results that I was looking for. Sometimes great things would happen, but it didn't last long, and I didn't know how to make it happen again. And I realized for a long time that I was spending my time blaming everything outside of me for this problem. Sometimes blaming the economy, that people didn't have money. Oh my God, the economy. Or sometimes blaming my audience, like they don't appreciate all of the free stuff I give them, like getting mad at my audience, which completely doesn't make sense. And then I realized that the blame and the attention was always, in these scenarios, going outside of myself. And the irony of it, my company is called Inside Out for this exact reason, because I believe that whatever we experience on the outside in our physical world is a reflection of what's happening on the inside. So then when I started looking at my business as something that's outside of me and thinking, interesting, I created that. What thoughts, what actions have I been taking to lead to this result that I have in front of me? And I suggest you do that for your business, or you do that for any other area of your life. Recognize that whatever you're experiencing outside of you is your own creation. But anyway, that's not the point of this video, but I can go on tangents when it comes to these things. So in today's video, I started thinking, man, I wish, like, if I was just starting out or I had been working for a couple of years, I just wish that someone would have come to me and said, avoid these mistakes, don't do this, like, help me out then. So now I wanna help you out if you find yourself in a similar situation where you wanna grow your business, you wanna become like the coach that you dream of becoming, but for some reason, no matter how much work you're putting in, you're just not seeing the results that you want. The first mistake I want you to avoid is that I believed that just because I was a new coach, that meant that I should offer my services for free or at very, very low prices. It just made sense. That's what everyone was saying. My fear was talking. We talked about fear a couple of weeks ago, so maybe you've watched that video too. Maybe it showed up as telling me that no, you cannot go and ask people for money first, and then no, you can't ask people for that much money. So the way that this manifested is with obviously very little money coming my way, because I was almost like pushing it away with my thinking and with my energy. But second is I started lowering my prices every time I spoke to a client. Like, I'd have a rate with one client and then give a completely different rate to another client, a lower rate. Or I would give discounts before people even asked me. I would be on a call or I meet someone and they ask for my rates, and I immediately jump to the discount because I realized I wasn't valuing my own expertise, my own worthiness to help them out. So I kept believing that I needed to lower and lower and lower my prices. The problem with that though is I want you to think about it. Like, the lower the price of something, the lower the perceived value of that thing. I mean, we can't deny it. If you go and buy a course for $19 and you watch one lesson and you don't enjoy it, I mean, how bad was that? Or how invested were you even in watching that video? Versus you go and purchase a course for $9.99, almost $1,000. Now, how much value do you feel this course is going to give you? How much attention are you going to pay to that course? So you're paying money, which means you pay attention. When people pay, they pay attention. One of my coaches, one of my mentors says that the transformation, which is what we're after as coaches, right? When you're working with a client, you're trying to create a transformation for them. And the transformation starts with the transaction. There's no shame for you to ask for the money that you deserve. You are helping this person move from point A to point B with your coaching, and that is worth your time, and it's worth the energy exchange, which is your time, your wisdom, your experience. And it's not just your experience as being a coach. Even if you just got certified last week, even if you got certified last year, you were still a person before that, right? I mean, you learned a lot of things in coaching, but you learned a lot of things in life. So you will be able to help this person, and it will be worth their money. But first, you have to believe that yourself. You have to believe that you are worthy of receiving this money, and that it's not healthy, it's not natural for you to give and not receive. You know, you take a breath in, it has to come out. That's the cycle of life. So you coach, you receive money back. Please don't make my mistake. My second mistake was that I thought that I needed to know everything about a topic before I can teach it or coach people on it. And that kept me in a loop of studying and studying and studying and getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. Because I thought I needed to know everything about a topic. But let me ask you, do you think anyone knows everything about anything? Like, honestly, even if you study a topic for years and years and years, there will always be something new or something that you didn't know or you didn't connect the dots, and that's fine. If this is stopping you from teaching what your heart feels like teaching, from coaching the way that you want to coach, I want you to understand that the person that you're coaching doesn't need to be miles behind you. This person only needs to be a few steps behind you. You can only be a few steps ahead and help them get to where you are, step by step. It does not have to be all of these steps. So please stop holding on to your talent and to your teaching methodology and to your ability to help others just because you think you have to do more research and you have to learn more. You have enough and you will continue to learn, but start working and start coaching now, okay? Don't make my mistake and keep waiting and waiting. Just start, messy, start, and you will love it, 100%. Yeah. The third mistake is I believed that the only way to make money is through trading it for time. So I needed to trade my time for money. The more hours I spent working and coaching, the more money that will come into my account. Makes perfect sense, right? But this formula is actually broken, because first, I just want you to think of anyone in your life who works so much, who works 14-hour days, and they still don't have anything to show for it. So the amount of hours they've put in does not necessarily equal more money. And maybe you and I think about it this way, like we trade time for money because maybe you're like me, you used to work in the corporate world, you were an employee and you came into your own business with the employee mindset, thinking that the more you work, the more you prove to yourself, to this boss, who's you by the way, the more money you'll make. The problem also with that, other than that it's broken because you might be working for so long and not make the amount of money that you want, is that if you do start making money for every hour that you're working, you only have so many hours every day, and your ability to impact more people and to make more income is capped at a certain level. And what about the days that you're sick or the days that you go on holiday? Your business now 100% depends on your ability to be live and awake and up and able to deliver your coaching or your teaching or whatever. Now, this mistake, maybe I shouldn't call it a mistake because that's how We all start out, and I'm so happy with the time, and I still do coach clients one-on-one every once in a while, but I'm so happy with all of the experience that I got from coaching people one-on-one. But I realized now that I was burning myself out, working ridiculous hours to accommodate all of my clients wherever they are in the world, and trading my time for money. So when I wanted to take time off, it automatically meant no money was coming into the business. What I was saying earlier is, yes, it's okay to start out like this, and maybe for now, you don't need to do anything about this. If you are working on getting your first few one-on-one clients, then please continue doing that. That would help you with case studies, with experience, with practice, with all of these things, continue. But then at some point when you find yourself working very long hours or finding your schedule full of one-on-one clients, then maybe it's time to change things a little bit. It could be time to bring in group coaching, where your hour with 4 people is bringing you more money than your hour with 1 person, or could become even more people. It could become small workshops. Maybe it could become pre-recorded content that you send them, and you don't need to be sitting right there for them to consume this content. It could become an online course that sells. You do the work once, you launch it, and you can go on holiday while your course is selling. I know this might be a bit too early for that, depending on where you are in your business, but I want you to keep this in mind. I want you to keep in mind that more time does not equal more money. Now tell me, honestly, are you making any of these mistakes right now? Did you make them in the past? Let me know. Let's talk about this. And also, I put together a list of 8 ingredients that every successful online coaching business needs, honestly. And I wish that I had this recipe in the past, and I want you to have it. And in the future, I'll be talking about these topics a little bit more. I'm feeling so passionate and so called to talk to coaches. So if you enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments, or by sharing this, or by subscribing. Just let's interact together. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video.